Frontier Airlines is the worst airline I've ever been on. We had a horrible flight experience, and I will never use them again. We were planned to board at 9:49 a.m., and we left the airport at 8 p.m., and they really didn't help us at all due purely to Frontier airline malfunctions and improper processes. So I bought the tickets in July, and Frontier was a pretty good price. I ignored the warnings that the flight was frequently late because I thought, how bad could it be? We had a nonstop flight from Atlanta to San Jose, so if it's late, fine, it's a nonstop, no flights to miss, and doesn't matter really when we get there, as long as we get there. But the flight was way worse. I haven't flown a lot, but I've flown enough that I've experienced a few problems, but nothing ever like this. Not even on like an Indonesian airline that I took one time. This is the worst experience I've ever had in my flight career. We were supposed to leave at 9:49 a.m. And from Atlanta. We were supposed to fly from Atlanta to San Jose, the south of Silicon Valley. And so we got up fairly early, and when we got up, I already had two notices. One notice that the flight was already delayed from 9:49 a.m. to after 1 p.m., and then another notice that maybe it was going to be delayed until 11 a.m., and to make sure and arrive on time on the original time scale in case they were able to correct the delays. So that's what we did. We gave ourselves a little bit more time, got there by 8 a.m., and got ready to go. And by 1 p.m., we had heard that they hoped to board in an additional 1.5 hours. So, okay, we finally had boarded the plane by 3:55 p.m. And then, actually, before boarding, we watched them replace the front tire on the plane. Watched the tire roll in, and it was just in tatters. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that. Then we got away from the gate and immediately waited for quite a while, and we were told that eventually that there was another mechanical problem, something about either a fuel line or I don't know what. So we waited until after 5 p.m. to find another gate that we could move back to. And then we finally got back, and right before we were told that the flight was canceled. Well, it's after 5 p.m. now. There are no flights that are going to leave for San Jose anymore that day. So we got off, and along with the other 100 and something passengers, waited in a long line, and were given a piece of paper that didn't really, without much extra explanation for what we could do. The piece of paper required internet access to really do anything. And not everyone had internet access, but we did. So we went ahead and waited through the line because we had never experienced something like this before, and got to the front desk, and they said, sorry, we really can't help you. You need to use this piece of paper. It's got all of your options there. And so we went ahead and rebooked on Frontier because that was the only cost-free option for us. Unfortunately, Frontier nonstop flights to San Jose are only once a week, so we would have to wait until Friday, actually, to fly back. We didn't want to do that, so we took the first available connecting series, which had us flying the next night at 9 p.m. to Denver, overnighting, and then flying to San Jose early the next morning. So that's two additional days. And they couldn't guarantee that we would even be accommodated in Denver for an overnight stay. And that concerned me greatly. So we actually settled on that and waited for our hotel voucher. We finally left the airport by 8 p.m. that night, 12 hours later after we arrived at the airport. And I called customer service the next morning, which is in Denver, by the way. Customer service told me that they really couldn't help me, that I needed to talk to the front desk in Denver when we got there to see if they would actually approve a stay in Denver Hotel. So I did a quick look at Denver hotel prices, and if they did not approve, we were going to be out as much money as if we had just move to another carrier anyway. So we elected to go ahead and move to United Airlines. The little piece of paper that they gave us, the fine print was they would refund up to $400 per ticket, and the cheapest flights were more than that. So we went ahead and booked the very cheapest flights, which was United. And so as of now, we owe the overage. They're supposed to reimburse us the $400 per ticket, and we still will owe about what we paid Frontier originally. I pushed back on customer service. I tried to be adamant with customer service, and they really would not budge at all. In retrospect, I probably should have asked to speak to management. I thought I was speaking to management because I called customer service, problem report basically already. In retrospect, yeah, I probably should have asked to escalate. They wouldn't handle any pushback I was giving them. They did not offer to let me talk to a higher authority. They acted like they were the higher authority.